Thanks for joining us for City Council Comments. I'm Steve Erickson along with Councilmember Brad Gostrowiak. Today we're talking about the May 2nd and our May 16th City Council meetings. Thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Steve.
You had a nice smooth ride in on Robinson Drive.
Nice, smooth, nice new repavement out there. Looks great.
Yeah.
Springtime, a lot of stuff going on. Things are greening up. Looks good around here.
Yeah, it's that time, that next other season of road construction, right? That'll be starting here soon. So, well, we'll jump right into things here. We are going to start off talking about our May 16th City Council meeting. We had an oath of office for a new police officer to start off that meeting.
We did. We have some openings on our police department, and we added one new police officer this week. Officer Robbie Tombers is added to our police department. We're up to badge number 190. Those badge numbers never get reused again, so Robbie is 190, and we welcomed him to the police department on Tuesday. Sounds like he's got a long history in the family of police service and other community involvement, so we're really happy to have him join.
Yeah, welcome aboard to him. And like I said, I know they just posted this week for more police officers, so there are openings. If anybody's interested or anybody knows anyone that's interested, check out the city's website for more information on that.
Harder and harder to fill those positions right now.
Yeah, we've gone from not having any for a number of years to now having continual postings, it seems like.
Yep, and we're pretty selective. We feel the best of the best in our police departments. Yep.
All right. Moving forward, Council had a proclamation for Poppy Day for both the American Legion and the VFW Post.
Correct. Well, we do this every year. We're certainly glad to support both of those organizations. And coming up, I think it's this weekend at Cub, the VFW and the American Legion are both going to be selling their poppies. And that supports a lot of the veterans programs that they do. I'm wearing my poppy emblem here today. So, yeah, proud to support that. Great programs.
All right. So again, if you're watching this, it would be Friday, May 19th, we believe, and Saturday, May 20th. We believe they'll be at the Cub and Northdale for some hours selling those poppies.
Right.
I guess you're not selling them; you're providing a donation.
Donations.
Correct.
Yep. But those donations go a long way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Moving forward, we had another proclamation. This one was for National Public Works Week.
We do this every year. I think it's been going on for about 30 years, where national organizations promote public works. Because there's just so much in our communities that is public works. All the stuff behind the scenes, all the roads and the public infrastructure and everything. So it's a big deal. There's a lot of people working hard to maintain all this infrastructure for us. A lot of times it goes unnoticed. Right. And Tim Himmer, our public works director, says that's good. We want to be unnoticed. We want everything to work. People don't have to worry about this stuff. But there's a lot there. And in conjunction with this, we have an open house at our Public Works Department coming up this weekend, Saturday, May 20th, from, I believe, 10 to noon. But Public Works office, garage is going to be open. Come on in, check out the people that work there, check out all of those pieces of equipment that we have back there. It's a big operation. And families and all community members certainly invited to come on over and check all that out.
All right. And then Public Works Week actually that kind of kicks off Public Works Week. May 21st through the 27th is actual National Public Works Week. So appreciate all the men and women that do that job. And like you said, it's kind of nice not to be, if there's not a problem, then things are going well. But if you drive down Highway 10, it's interesting these days because you see those large sanitary sewer pipes because they're doing that project kind of on the north side of 10 east of Hanson. But you don't normally see, that's what's underground, and that's all the stuff they have to maintain, on a daily basis.
Right. And that's all Met Council, sanitary sewer systems, you're right. But that is all connected. Most of the time it's buried and you don't see it, but there's a lot of work that goes into keeping it all aligned and working properly, and so we don't have any issues. Yeah,
we don't want issues, especially with those bigger pipes.
That's correct.
All right. Moving forward on our consent agenda, Council announced the 2023 summer concert schedule. This is kicking off here on June 1st at the Coon Rapids Dam.
That's correct. I actually made some notes on this because this is a great deal. Anoka County waives the park pass to get into the dam park down there, and the bandstand is filled with really great acts. There's just really hundreds, maybe thousands of people that show up for these on a weekly basis. And between June 1st and August 3rd, there are live music out there, and I could go through them now, but you can see them on the website. A lot of great performances. I encourage families and residents to get out there and enjoy that feature. All all supported by Coon Rapids and our Community Strength organization.
Yeah, we made Facebook events for all of them. I noticed the Jonah and the Whales, which I think is the July 27th or so, has gotten a lot of people interested in going to that one. So
Right.
I don't know if that's the first time they've been here or not, but
That's a great band, and
Yeah.
one of my favorites here, the Revolution 5, which is a Beatles tribute band.
Yeah.
I watched those last year, had a fantastic time. But all these bands, all these acts that Community Strength coordinates and gets in, a lot of work goes into that, and selecting those bands, making sure they're the right ones, the great fits, and a good assortment of acts and music. So for all genres.
yeah, like you said, 9 of them in total this summer, so check out the city's website. You can find a full list there of all the concerts.
Arrive early. They are
Yeah.
popular. They are popular. They start at 7 p.m., I think.
Yep.
But arrive early so you can get up close. Bring a lawn chair.
Yeah.
A lot of open areas where you can seat, or you can bring a blanket and bring your family and enjoy the time.
Yeah, and don't the Boy Scouts sell food there as well, I think?
They do.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
they run out. I know that's how popular.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get there early to get the food, too.
That's right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. We'll hope for good weather for those concerts this summer. Kind of related, tied into this, Council adopted a resolution accepting a donation for the summer concerts.
That's right. The Community Strength Foundation actually donated over $11,000 to finance and put on all of these shows down at the park. And so that's just a great example of the community involvement and the community investment that we're making. Community Strength, a lot of those proceeds come from charitable gambling. I think the city receives about a 5% cut of charitable gambling, and it funds a lot of these organizations and community events. So we're very happy to have that donation to support all this.
Yeah, and on that note, we actually had somebody at our meeting talking about concerns about charitable gambling, because there's some talk at the state level about changing some of the way that operates.
Yeah, that's a good point. We had people actually talk about that in our last meeting in the open mic section.
Yeah.
There is legislation currently in front of the legislature that would eliminate some of the pull tab gambling. And
Like this is the E-tab stuff, right?
The E-tabs, the electronic ones.
Yeah.
But that would have a pretty big impact on the charitable contributions that are, doled out in this community. All of that, all those charitable contributions remain local.
Right.
There are folks that are concerned with that, including myself.
Yeah.
That the legislature in the omnibus bill, I think it is, that would eliminate that E-tabs. So.
Yeah. We'll see what happens here. We're down to just a couple days of the session, so they would have to pass something soon if that is going to happen.
That would have a big impact on us, so we're watching that closely.
We'll stay tuned for more information. We also had a couple donations for our police department.
We did. We're always glad to accept donations, especially for the police department, but we had 2 separate donations this last week. One was a $1,000 donation from Federal Cartridge Corporation, and the other one was a little over $3,000 donated by the Crime Prevention Association here in Coon Rapids. Both donations are going into our K-9 program.
Okay.
The K-9 program is key to our policing, and a large portion of that funding is going to be to protect our K-9 dogs. Those vests that those dogs wear that protect them when they go into harm's way are expensive, and we are fortunate here to get a donation that's going to cover that equipment for those K-9s.
All right. Well, again, appreciate any donations that we could get, right? Council approved a temporary on-sale strong beer and wine liquor license. This is for the Community Strength Foundation for the 4th of July community celebration. Obviously, people excited, to go to these festivities. Wanted to more talk about this because our 4th of July celebration is quickly approaching.
That is. So we approved some on-site beer and wine sales for the 4th of July, and the 4th of July is a really keynote event here in Coon Rapids. It's coming up. We're bringing back a few things that have been popular in the past. Yep. The firefighter bingo is coming back. We are going to unveil the new city mascot, Rocky. We're rebranding Rocky, bringing him back, so that'll be kind of fun and interesting. And then, of course, the the new fire station that's being built adjacent to this site is going to have fireworks going off the top of that building. So we're gonna see that action. So we're pretty excited about what's coming up for the 4th of July.
Yeah, and we've talked about that a lot, launching from that roof. The one advantage to that is that you can get some of those lower level ones that they shoot from the ground normally up a little higher.
Right.
So people a little further out, I think, will see some of those lower fireworks. So that should be pretty cool.
And our display on the 4th of July is renowned.
Yes.
I mean, in the whole metro, it's one of the best, if not the best. So it's even going to be better and more spectacular from a viewing angle from that launch point. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, and again, Rocky unveiling, so you have to check that out. I know he'll be in the parade.
Right.
So look for Rocky in the parade. And like you said, a lot of people have been asking him for firefighter bingo, so that is back.
It is back.
Popular demand. So again, July 2nd through the 4th at Boulevard Plaza. You can find all the details on the city's website about the celebration as well.
That's correct, you bet.
All right. Moving forward, Council held a public hearing. No one spoke. This is on a grant application for the U.S. Department of Justice. This is for some items for our police department.
Right. We've accepted these and filed for and accepted these grants in the past, but this is a nice one. This is a $25,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Justice, and this is going to fund some pretty key things. And Captain Steiner at the last meeting did a great job describing what we're going to use these funds for. One of the main things that sticks out in my mind is we are investing in more what's called stop sticks. So these are going to be in every one of our police units. So if a police officer suspects a vehicle that they need to apprehend or whatever, they can put these stop sticks down in front of the vehicle and disable the vehicle, thereby eliminating a police chase. So that is key. If we can eliminate any kind of pursuit like that, that is just absolutely preferred, is the safest way to go. So that's an interesting thing.
Yep.
The other interesting part of it is we're also investing in a remote operated robot that we can take into areas that might not be safe. They can look around, get a view of the thing. These are valuable assets that'll help aid in policing. The other thing is glass breaking devices that are going to be implemented in all the police cars. If there's an accident and there is a individual trapped in a vehicle and they need to get into that vehicle, there's safe ways to break that glass, and these devices actually help break the glass, let the police officers and the responders save the lives of these people that might be trapped inside those vehicles. A lot of really good things going on with this grant from the JAG.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard of those before, but like he said, flashlights, a lot of times they'd have to bang their flashlight against the windows to break it out.
Right.
That sounds like these balls just sort of take it out.
Yeah, and Officer Steiner described that. I mean, years ago, you'd see police officers carrying these gigantic flashlights, right? Now they have these LED flashlights that are about this big. You can't break a glass with that flashlight. So these devices are perfect for that safe way to go quickly and effectively open up these cars or whatever else.
All right. Again, grant money. Right. Couldn't do all this stuff without some of the grant money, so good to get that as well.
Yep. So we just had to enter into a memorandum of understanding of how we're going to spend these funds. It's all very well documented, but yeah, much appreciated, and great work by I believe it's Officer Jacobson.
It sounds like he wrote the grant, right?
Wrote the grant and got these funds for the city. Yep.
All right. Moving forward, Council considered an agreement and a budget amendment. This is purchasing some new software for our finance department. This is an integral part of kind of how we do business.
Yeah, more than just software. I think, in my opinion, it's an enterprise procurement system.
Okay.
And this has been looked at for a couple of years. We're running a system right now that runs basically our entire finance department and a lot of other departments. And that is coming toward the end of its useful life. We've been operating it for about 20 years, and so it's time to update that. So our finance director, Ashley Hansen, actually started doing some research on this, and she found a product that she'd used at a different employer, a different city, and we looked at it. The city council looked at all of this in work session, and we are approving now a program with a supplier that's going to actually save us money from day one. If we would have gone with the Logis system that the county is going with, this could be well over $4 million over 10 years. And we're looking at a little over $1 million over those 10 years. So a $3 million savings. Yeah. And the interesting part is this new program is going to be more cost efficient than the program that you're using today. So right out of the box,
Yeah.
we're saving for the city. And I always love to see things like that. Great job by our finance director to find this product, bring it to us, check it all out.
All right. Not cheap.
No.
But could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Sounds
right,
like.
Right, exactly.
All right. Moving forward, Council considered resolution providing for the sale of $10 million in general obligation improvement and utility revenue bonds. We go out from time to time on the bond market, and we're hoping for some good rates here.
Right. Yeah, this is a big deal. This is going to finance a lot of public street reconstruction. There is a lot of utility reconstruction that the city is going on, not only this year, but in years forward. And this also is going to finance construction, partial finance construction of the new water tower that's going over up on Foley. So yeah, we go out for bond, we borrow this money, usually between 10 and 15 years as the payback on that. The infrastructure that we build lasts a lot longer than that. Hopefully we can get 100 years out of a water tower, for example. But yeah, this is good. The city enjoys a very good credit rating. We are very financially stable, so that helps us when we go out into the bond market. We have great partners that help us get good rates when we go out. So we're looking probably within the next 2 weeks, we'll know exactly how well we do to finance these projects.
All right. We'll look forward to some good numbers when Nick comes back.
I sure hope so. I mean, interest rates are up, so, but we're, again, our credit rating and the way we run this business really helps us.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Council considered a resolution, actually authorized it, granting preliminary approval for conduit bond financing. This is for the Mississippi View Apartments, and this is an interesting project.
Yeah, this is right over there by the community college, across from the new fire station. And this is an interesting project. That is a 94, maybe 95. It's a big unit. And it was built in 1972. So it was renovated in 2007. But new owners have come into that project, and they are investing $29 million into renovating that building. Now, that's about $50,000 per unit. What's great about this is they're renovating a building and no residents are going to be displaced. There are a few units that are going to be converted and get them ADA compliant. The new owner is going to accommodate those residents while they make that construction. But this building is used by a lot of income-assisted folks, so it's very affordable for them. So it's just great to see an investment of this size into that type of facility in our community.
All right. So again, like I said, I think it's amazing they can do all the work with everybody still. It sounds like maybe for a week period of time during the day they're in a unit, but then it's done.
Right.
So
and it's going to be nice. They're doing the inside and the outside, so it's going to look good from the street as well as from the inside, the folks that are living there.
All right, and it's probably important to mention this is not, the city is just sort of a conduit for the financing. There's no liability to taxpayers.
Oh, that's
right?
correct. Yeah, the financial liability is on the owner of this building. We just act as a conduit because it's placed in our city, and there's certain rules, regulations on how that financing can come through and used in programs like this that are federally assisted.
All right. Council accepted an easement agreement. This is for 2324 121st Circle. This is for a possible future trail, right? And I know you were the lone dissenting vote. We actually only had 5 members present at the council meeting. You did vote against this.
I did vote against this, but we act as a council and the majority on this rule. So this is acquiring a small piece of property that would, if we ever do construct a trail between along 121st there, all the way over toward back to Main Street. This will allow us to do that on our right-of-way, end to end. Also, that trail is on easement property because we have storm drains back there that we have to maintain. And this, if construction, would allow us to get our vehicles back there a little bit easier and at better times of the year, quite frankly.
Okay.
So
this is just basically accepting the easement agreement. This does not approve the trail.
Right. This is actually not related to trail construction at all. That still has to come before the council and the park department and committee, I should say, on all that.
All right. So stay tuned on that. Council considered a 13th amendment to the service contract with the Center for Energy and Environment, and also approved the home improvement loan budget. I know our home loan programs are very popular here in the city.
Right. The city operates and manages a loan assistance foundation, and that foundation right now has about $5 million worth of funding in it. So what we do is we release funds into that are going to provide low interest loans for a number of things. Low interest down payment loan assistance, renovation assistance, a lot of things. A great way for investment to occur in Coon Rapids. And this is just authorizing another allotment of that. Very popular program. We're actually pretty fortunate that our foundation is able to do this. Our residents can take advantage of it.
Yeah, and this, from what I understand, is back in the day when interest rates were high. We were processing lower rate loans, and then this is all the money from that, essentially.
Yeah, well, it was a great investment by folks way before my time.
Yeah.
And we are just here basically reaping the benefits of their hard work and their foresight. Yeah.
All right. So if you don't know about them, there are a lot of different programs for people, some that don't have income requirements. So check out the city's website. Under the housing tab, you'll find out more information. There's also information usually in the quarterly newsletter. There's one coming out here in June, so folks can take a look at that as well.
That's correct.
All right, that is all we had. We had quite an agenda there for our May 16th meeting. Moving back now to our first meeting of the month, we wanted to talk about the city or council accepting a deed for real property. This is at Foley Boulevard near Coon Rapids Boulevard. This is where our water tower is going in, correct?
This is where our water tower is going in. Back in 2018, Shamrock had that piece of property for sale, and we recognized that is, we purchased that piece of property for a potential interchange with 610. Well, it has been further defined and discussed that that's not the prime location for that intersection for 610. So we're holding this property, and now that Foley has been reconstructed with the railroad grade separated crossing over there, we found out that this is a prime area for a water tower. So this is where our new water tower is going to be, but it's a 5-acre property. So we're splitting it in half, essentially. 1.4 acres for the water tower. We're retaining about 3.6 acres for future commercial development. And at the end of the day, we had a great buy on this, and we actually acquired a site for our water tower at no cost to the city.
All right.
So that's what that's all about.
Yeah, and our water tower is basically near the corner of Foley and Coon Rapids Boulevard, correct?
Current one.
Or no, we're talking about the new one, right?
The new one is going to be down
near Foley and Coon Rapids Boulevard.
Foley and Coon Rapids Boulevard, right in that intersection. That's correct. Yep.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Moving forward, council adopted a resolution approving a sustainability commission appointment. Always nice to see folks stepping up to serve their community.
That's right. We have some openings on the Sustainability Commission, and we are gladly looking forward to new member Kate Anderson, who will be joining that committee.
All right.
Yep.
And again, I always sound like a broken record, but a lot of times these openings do come up. So if you are interested in serving on a commission, you can go to the city's website as well. There's an interest application on there. You can kind of rank which commissions you might want to serve on, and then when openings pop up, they will be in contact.
That's right. That's important work, and we gladly accept those volunteers into that position. We're fortunate that we have as many as we do, and we do. We have some openings. So check it out. See if one's a fit for you.
No pay, but I know they just had the commission appreciation dinner a week or two ago. So
that's right.
Got that to look forward to.
For sure.
All right. Council adopted resolutions awarding contracts for our 2023 street maintenance program. And this is the whole deal. It's a consortium, right, with a number of other cities.
Yeah, I think there's 12 or 13 different cities in this consortium. So it allows us to go out and bid and get economies of scale. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in this case, the city of Coon Rapids is the lead agency on this. So this comes before our city council to approve, and then it's filtered out, and all those programs, all those other cities can benefit from this. So again, just a great program here because it's a consortium and lets us stretch our budget a little bit more.
All right, this is just some of the miscellaneous street maintenance that gets done over the course of the summer.
Yeah, there's seal coating and other things that go on. There's a whole list of items that we bid on here, and selected the lowest bidder on each one. And again, all those cities are benefiting from the consortium.
All righty. Council adopted a resolution approving preliminary and final plats. This is for the Fidelity Addition. This is on the old Cons barbecue location. This is where there's talk of, well, there is a car wash that is going to go into that site.
Yeah, it's kind of a high-profile location. Fidelity Partners, people don't know what that is, but it is the old Coon's barbecue spot, right off of Northdale. And so the site is going to be divided into 2 sites. They're building a car wash right now. Silver Star is going to operate a car wash on that, and then the site right next to it is going to be for future development. What's interesting on this is one access off of Northdale into the property, and then a small service road that'll service both parcels.
Yeah, because there's that traffic light right there.
Right there.
And then there'll be a service road. So it's the western side of that site that will be kind of divided off, and eventually, I mean, we don't know what's going in there yet, but they're marketing it for another tenant.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
So stay tuned.
More development, Coon Rapids, a lot of it actually going on.
Yeah. Stay tuned for more on that as well. Council adopted a resolution adopting assessments for street reconstruction. This is our sort of main project for street reconstruction for the year.
Yeah, these are the main street reconstruction projects, primarily in the Oaks of Shenandoah area. That would be west of Shenandoah.
Yep.
But over 4.5 miles of roads, about $4 million worth of reinvestment into those areas, and I believe about $997,000 of that assessed to property owners, which is a pretty good rate, about $2,000 per residence. The rest is paid through the general fund.
All right, and this is just ongoing stuff. They rate the streets, kind of have a plan in place, and try to do a chunk of it each year, right?
And these streets have never been redone before.
Okay.
So we're just going through and keeping them up to date. Some communities don't get after them as much as we do. I think if you've been to other communities, you'll recognize what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the city of Coon Rapids has been pretty aggressive in making sure that our streets, are reconstructed before they crumble away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward, Council adopted an agreement, or approved an agreement rather, with Alina Health for the Ambulance Bay expansion and sewer extension project. I feel like the sewer piece of this is new. We've talked about the Ambulance Bay expansion, and that's kind of been on hold for a while.
It has been on hold, but Mercy's been expanding quite a bit over the last few years. And a couple of years ago, it was determined that the main sewer line that feeds most of their facility is at capacity. So as they expand, they recognize the need that main sewer line needs to increase in capacity. So they're going to replace that sewer line at their cost over along Dakota Street. And the city of Coon Rapids is just going to contribute about $11,000. We're going to put a new manhole access in there because we have to maintain all of that infrastructure. Yeah. So again, just another example of a great partnership that we have with Alina and Mercy Hospital, a great community member. So that's a pretty big project that'll be happening.
All right. Council approved an agreement with the Trolley Terrace Homeowners Association. This is for the Palm Street water main replacement project. It's kind of like a private deal, right? Because these are private roads.
Well, this is a little bit unique. Anytime that you have public infrastructure, sewer and water, under a private street, you run into issues like this. And in this case, the water line, a 6-inch ductile water line underneath that street in that section has been breaking and falling apart. So the city is going to reconstruct that with a PVC pipe that'll last a long, long time. There's also some connections going into the houses that are going to be updated. And then actually all of that is going to be turned over then to the Homeowners Association for maintenance and going forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll be responsible for upkeep?
Right.
Okay.
Kind of a unique thing there, but we have to reconstruct that street anyway because we were in there trying to fix all those water main breaks over the last year. So and this buttons everything back up and should be in great shape for many, many years.
All right. That is all we have to talk about from our first meeting of May. Kind of into the final days here of the legislative session. I know we're kind of watching that. City's looking ahead, and now I know you guys had a work session recently looking ahead to the 2024 budget. Still a lot of question marks there about funding from the state, but it seems like they have come to an agreement. Coon Rapids could get some LGA back. I know we've been zeroed out recently, right, in the last year or two?
We have been zeroed out for the last year or two, and we've been hoping that some of that LGA that comes back, and I believe just today or maybe last night there was some negotiations made where it looks like there's going to be some funding coming back into back into Coon Rapids. I don't know the details yet. It's kind of really fresh.
I don't have the exact number for Coon Rapids yet, but according to this deal, counties and local governments will get about $80 million increase in aid, and then plus a one-time additional infusion of $300 million to help cover public safety costs. We know that's kind of been in the spotlight. So we'll be learning those details here in the coming weeks about how much, but that certainly helps a little bit with the budget situation.
It certainly does, right?
When you still have all the increasing pressures of costs, right?
Well, and what's interesting about that is the LGA comes and then it goes. So it's very, very hard to budget long term.
Yeah.
And there's sizable chunks of LGA aid. I mean, in excess of $1 million. In a budget of ours, that's a huge percentage of our budget.
Yeah.
So in 2023, we are budgeting without it.
Yeah.
And it looks like we'll be able to budget some of that into our 24 budget planning that's actually already begun and has to be finalized by September.
All right. So more talks this summer regarding where that goes.
That's right.
All right. Well, we are out of time. I appreciate you coming in today and talking to us here. Thank you at home for watching, and we'll see you back here again after our 2 meetings in June.